Joe Montgomery here from educationlawyers.com. It's July 13th. We're right in the middle of the summer, and the last thing we should probably be talking about is back to school kind of stuff, because we should be relaxing on the beach or on a boat or on a lake or in a park or something like that, but we don't rest here. We want to make sure that every day of the year you're well informed as to what's going on, because there's stuff happening right now that could affect your child essentially for the rest of their life, what's going on in the next year. So what I want to talk to you about today, and what really just fell upon us 13 days ago, June 30th, is something called Act 66. So if you don't know what Act 66 is, in Pennsylvania, if you're a Pennsylvania resident and you have a school-age child and you don't know what Act 66 is, you're not alone, because it came quick and it's here and it ends fast too, unless we can figure out a way to extend it a little bit. And here is what Act 66 is. Let me share my screen with you. Here we go. Act 66. So on June 30th, 2021, just 2 weeks ago, Governor Wolf in PA signed Act 66 of 2021 into law. Act 66 permits students that were enrolled during the 2021 school year to repeat their grade level, if interested, right? It's a parental decision, but it allows students to repeat their grade level in an effort to make up for any lost educational opportunities due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you feel as though your child did not receive an appropriate education during the 2021 school year, and many people do, rightfully so, you have the opportunity to allow your child to repeat that grade. So let's see what that means, right? Because there's a million questions. Everyone's situation is unique. But where we have to start is that you have to elect to take this opportunity by July 15th, 2021, which is in 2 days. Right? So from the time that this was signed into law until the time that you have to elect as to whether or not you're going to take this, you have 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks in a day. I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's enough time for parents to even understand what's going on. I don't think a lot of people even know this exists. This may be the first time you're hearing about it. And it's a lot to think about, right? When we want to consider if you're going to keep your child in school for an extra year, that's a lot, right? I'm sure, most children or students probably wouldn't be open to the idea, but some parents might be, right? Because there may be good reasons that your child should repeat the year and make sure that they have the appropriate education, the K through 12 education that they're promised and owed by the government. Missing a year, which essentially, a lot of students did miss a year from the 2021 school year because the online education didn't work for many students. So missing that year doesn't just set you back a year. There's a lot of studies that it can set you back several years, right? It can set you back several years educationally. Then once some of these students start college, they're going to be a little further behind than their peers, again, depending on the quality of education they received. Some private schools were open when public schools weren't. So students who had the luxury of attending private schools where they kind of paid for the service. Right? This is, by the way, regarding public schools, Act 66. So if your child was in a private school, that would be between you and the school as to whether the school wants to give any kind of credit for the year or offer anything additional to the student. Anyway, so you have until July 15th, 2021 to elect whether or not your child should repeat the school year. These students are referred to as students repeating a grade level. So it's not as though they were held back. It's that you're saying, look, my child didn't really get what they needed during the 2021 school year. We want to try again so we can really strengthen their academics. Act 66 also applies to students with disabilities who were enrolled during the 2021 school year and turned 21 during that school year. So that means if you had a child who turned 21 during the 2021 school year and they would have aged out of special education, you get an extra year. So that's where this is really exciting, because there's a lot of parents who probably didn't have time or opportunity to set up what's next for their child once they graduate from high school. So this can give parents an extra year to figure out what to do next, while also ensuring that their child, and I don't want to, some, right? A percentage of children who do stay into school because of disabilities until 21, rather than graduating when they're a senior, have needs that are significant, like life skills type needs that can't effectively be taught online, right? So if you have a student who's 21 with severe intellectual disabilities, and they're at a point where they're just learning, how to tie their shoe, or dressing goals, bathroom skills, this extra year is going to be super helpful, because these aren't skills that can be taught online whatsoever. So we have Act 66, signed into law June 30th, 2021. Parents have to elect by July 15th, 2021. Parents of students who receive special education services, where the child turned 21 during this school year, have the opportunity to stay an extra year. There's a form that parents fill out. We have links to this form on our website, educationlawyers.com/66, educationlawyers.com/act66, educationlawyers.com/act66. ACT66. I'll put it down here. educationlawyers.com/ACT66. We'll have a link to this form. You can also just go right to education.pa.gov, but we'll have links to all this and other stuff that's going to be helpful to parents. There's some frequently asked questions, and these are a lot of the questions that we had right off the bat. Students who are in kindergarten during the school year are entitled to another year of kindergarten. Students that were in preschool are not entitled to another year of preschool. As far as whether or not and how this will be reflected in the students' transcripts, it seems like it's going to vary. I know there could be a stigma associated with the idea of a student repeating a grade, but in the world we live in, where everyone was sort of in the same situation, I don't know that stigma is relevant. See what else here that I think is important. I think you should read this. I think you should get the link off educationlawyers.com/act66 and read these to see what applies to you. But some of the bullets and the high level details that stood out to me are the ones I'm going to go over with you. Does this law permit students to receive additional athletic eligibility by repeating a year? That would be cool, but no. So there goes that idea. If you're doing it for the purpose of getting an extra year of athletic eligibility, that's not going to work. The special education stuff is where it gets really interesting, because you can go even longer than the school year, right? If your IEP, if the student's IEP required extended school year, then not only do you get the extra year, but it sounds like, and what I'm seeing here is that you also get that extra extended school year. So you're getting, a full year and more. What else? Should the decision to repeat a grade level or stay an additional year be made by IEP teams? So for the decision to repeat a grade level, the law indicates that the decision is to be made by a parent or guardian for students under 18 years of age, and by the student who is at or over 18 years of age. For the decision to remain an additional year, the law indicates that the decision is to be made by parent or guardian, and the student, if possible. PDE's Bureau of Special Education recommends all decisions made for students with disabilities be made in conjunction with the IEP team after review of data. So all that means, no, it's not up to the IEP team. It's up to the parent and the student if the student's over the age of 18. So if your school is saying, no, we don't think your child needs an extra year of school, say, Joe Montgomery said that it doesn't really matter. We'll consider your input. Thank you. We're considering it, but we believe our child needs an extra year, and we're going to keep them well into their 22nd year, which is pretty cool. Check out the rest of it. Read it, see what's relevant to you. I like it. My only problem is that it's happening so fast. Like I said, signed into law only a couple weeks ago, June 30th, 2021, and parents only have until July 15th, 2021. If you're not seeing this video before July 15th and you're just finding out about this for the first time, then what? Then what I'm seeing here is that the school has to maybe make a case-by-case determination. I think it's going to be an issue. I don't think you're going to be alone. And I think you should reach out to someone. We're standing by. We're going to be following this very closely. And if you are interested in your child having an extra year and you missed that July 15th deadline, please give us a call at 833, the letter U, CANSUE, 833, the letter U, CANSUE. We're standing by to help. Visit us at educationlawyers.com, Instagram at Education Lawyers, TikTok, Education Lawyers, if you want to see us dancing and stuff like that. But in the meantime, read this, check out the link at educationlawyers.com/act66. And if you feel as though your child requires an extra year of education due to setbacks caused by COVID-19, send a letter, fill out the form, send a letter to your school right away, memorialize it, send an email, memorialize it, get it in writing, and then click on the form. And here's what you can look at on the form. You're going to, have basic demographic type information and signing that you're electing for that extra year. And again, must be submitted to the student's district and/or school before July 15th, 2021. Do not submit to the Department of Education. Submit right to the school district. Who is that person? You can just email it to the superintendent or the director of special education or whoever your contact is. Just get it in writing. It's not I wouldn't drop it off at the school administration office unless they give you some kind of timestamp copy that you dropped it off. Get this in writing, email it, cover yourself. And again, if this is something that applies to you and we're past July 15th, by the time you see this video, please give us a call and hopefully we can help meet your students' needs and goals. Until next time, Joe Montgomery here from educationlawyers.com. We're trying to stay on top of everything relevant to you and your child so that you can enjoy your summer while we just kind of roll up our sleeves and keep grinding away here in the office as we should.